Now we're going to speak about UWI and what is inside my UWI, and UWI is here on now. We're going to speak about a Caribbean Planetary Health Conference, Building Resilient Health Systems for Climate Change in the Caribbean, and a seminar is coming up. We're going to chat about that. With me this morning is Dr. Sandeep B. Maraj. He's an Associate Dean, Distance Education, Projects and Planning of the Faculty of Medical Sciences. Also with me, it's Chris Ora, Professor of Veterinary Virology, and we're going to chat about this very topic. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome. Thank you for being here. Definitely. So, first off, what's the main thing we have to be concerned about as pertains to climate change and our current health systems?
So, in fact, planetary health looks at the impact of our human health and the impact on the health of the natural systems and how these two interact to create problems. You know, as we have seen in healthcare, we have had an increase in life expectancy. We have a decrease in child deaths. However, due to that, we have an increase in population.
Right.
And because of the increase in population, it has put a lot of strain on our natural systems. There's an increase in carbon emissions within the atmosphere, and also a greater demand for food supplies, water, and so on. And these demands, in turn, are actually causing problems for human health, as well as for the natural systems. So planetary health really looks, climate change is one aspect of it, but we expect over the next couple of years, and it's projected by 2050, it's attributed by the Lancet Commission that approximately 250,000 deaths would be attributed to climate change.
Just to climate change?
Just to climate change. And within the Caribbean, we have an expert who has been looking at the impact in One Health, which the terminologies are very much different, but they do the same thing. Professor Ora, who will be one of the speakers at the conference.
Right.
That's coming up. And I don't know if Prof would like to speak about some of the issues in
No,
the Caribbean.
from your stance as the professional of veterinary virology, you know, it touches on the subject of, you know, the way in which viruses, for instance, are able to mutate in different environments.
Yeah.
So things like climate change, you know, we've seen that it is tending toward rising global temperature, and that would, viruses are so dynamic in such a way that they would react to these things as well. Tell us more.
Well, I mean, as we're seeing temperatures rise, we're seeing an increase in viruses around the world. And we've seen chikungunya, we've seen Zika, we've seen dengue. And there is a reason behind that, because viruses like higher temperatures. So they replicate faster in their ticks or mosquitoes or, or midges at higher temperatures. And they jump from insects to insects at higher temperatures, so they're generally happier. So there's no surprise that as temperatures are rising and as they're going to continue to rise, we're going to see more viruses. Yeah.
Right.
So it's all these things are linked. That's the whole point about planetary health. I mean, the health of our environment, the health of our animals, the health of our agriculture, the health of our people are all linked. And if you affect one area, you're going to have an effect on the other. And this is what people need to understand. And this is what this conference is all about. I mean, we are completely dependent on our planet, on our environment. We only have one planet.
Right.
We don't have a planet B. Yeah?
Exactly.
So if we lose this planet, there's nowhere to go. And at the moment, we're seeing all these issues around the world. We're seeing what's happening in Australia. We're seeing what's happened with our hurricanes getting stronger and more significant. We're seeing the flooding. We're seeing the sargassum. We're seeing the Sahara dust. All these things that are affecting our health, also the health of animals. And they're all linked in. So we have to really take this concept extremely seriously. And this conference that we're having on Sunday is a fantastic opportunity to see some of the world experts in this field who are coming to Trinidad. We're extremely fortunate to have them, who are going to be talking about these areas. These are people that have talked in every corner of the world, and we have them coming to Trinidad on Sunday to talk about these areas. So it's a very, very exciting thing, and I'd urge everybody to come.
Definitely, definitely. Well, as you mentioned that, I want to find out how we gain access, but before we do so, you know, the professor has spoken of there'd be so many experts to come speak on the topic. Who are some of these speakers?
So actually, two of our main speakers, Professor Samuel Myers and Professor Jonathan Patz, wrote many of the seminal papers in planetary health.
Right.
They are actually the framers of the concept, and they did a lot of research in the area. So Professor Samuel Myers is out of Harvard School of Public Health, and he's also the head of the Planetary Health Alliance, which is a conglomeration of number of universities, world-renowned, Stanford, Harvard, and luckily, University of the West Indies is part of that team there. And he's coming, and he'll be there at the conference. We also have Professor Patz, as I said, a world-renowned figure as well there. And we also have from PAHO, the Pan American Health Organization, the climate change expert within the Caribbean, Dr. Jonathan Drury, who will also be speaking. Most importantly, we won't forget we have some locals.
Of course.
And we got Professor Ora, one of our main local experts, and Professor Adish Ramsubag, who is looking at how can the natural system assist us to deal with some of our health system problems as well. So in antimicrobial resistance. And we got one or two other speakers, but these are the main persons that will actually help us and explain what is the impact of this phenomenon. And it's no longer global warming, it's really global weathering. So the hots are getting hotter, the colds are getting colder, the dries are getting drier, and the rainy is getting a lot wetter.
Yeah.
So it's no longer global warming. For far too long we have said that it's not global weathering.
Weathering.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, it touches on whatever is the prevalent condition, it makes it even more extreme.
Exactly.
So to say.
Exactly.
All right. And as the professor backtagged that this conference will be on Sunday.
Sunday at the University of the West Indies Learning Resource Center. If the persons wish to get in contact, they can call 225-4673, and the extension is 5046. And we at the School of Pharmacy will be able to help you and guide you in how you can attend the conference.
All right. And is there a cost attached to this?
Yes. For the general public, it's $200. For students, $100. And for a conference of this nature, that's literally free. Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank you both for joining us this morning. Dr. Sandeep B. Maraj, Associate Dean Assistance Education, Projects Planning, Faculty of Medical Sciences, and Professor Chris Ora of Veterinary Virology. We're now going to take a break to the top of the hour for the news at 7.